We only have Monday through Sunday to ride. This is how I organize my training. First, let's learn the zones. There are 6 zones that I work with. Zone 1 is a recovery. Zone 2 is the endurance zone. Zone 3 is tempo. Zone 4 is the lactate threshold, muscular endurance, functional threshold power, whatever you want to call it. Zone 5 is the VO2 max. And Zone 6 is sprinting, balls to the wall, 20 to 30 seconds max. I don't do that one a lot. The reason these zones are important is because it's a way to organize your training. I use heart rate because it's simply easy, it's cheap, and it really tells me about the physiology that my body is going through rather than the power that I'm outputting. Power can also be used, but it seems like everybody uses power as this mythical number that everybody tries to keep secret. So naturally, I'm keeping my power numbers secret. Actually, it doesn't exist because, number one, I don't have a lot of power, and I, don't have a power meter. So I use heart rate. Well, I use the numbers from a lactate threshold test that I did about 6 months ago. And how this works is you go out and you ride as hard as you possibly can continuously for 30 minutes, and you record the last 20 minutes of your heart rate, the average. And for me, my average was 155. So for a zone 1 ride, anything below 125 beats per minute counts as a recovery ride. And recovery means that you're not really putting a whole lot of effort in. You're primarily using fatty acids as an energy source for your slow twitch muscle fibers. This will become important in just one moment. Now for zone 2, my heart rate is between 125 and 138. This zone is considered the optimal zone where you're using fatty acids and glucose at the same time to develop the strength of your slow twitch muscle fibers, which is used for endurance. In zone 3, my heart rate would be between 139 and 144. This is called tempo because your slow twitch muscle fibers have now maxed out and you're starting to use your fast twitch muscle fibers. As you progress into zone 3, you're starting to use more glucose as an energy and less fatty acids as an energy. This is called glycolysis. So you see, biology is very interesting, and when we were listening in high school, we probably should have listened a lot more closely. Well, I did, and this is fascinating stuff. Now in zone 4, my heart rate would be between 145 and 154, and this is called the lactate threshold. This is the maximum intensity you can possibly sustain for a given period of time, usually considered 1 hour. This is where you're burning through the glucose and it starts to produce pyruvate. Excess pyruvate converts to lactate, and with hydrogen ions is lactic acid. Now the lactate can be used as fuel for the slow twitch fibers. However, any excess goes into the bloodstream, and that is where you feel it. Zone 5 is when my heart rate is above 164, and that's called the VO2 max. That's where you can only do about 2 to 3 minutes of effort, and then you basically blow up. In this zone, ATP production is too slow, even from glucose as well as fatty acids, so your body starts to use the available ATP within the muscle cell. And this is why I can only last like 2-3 minutes at most.
Only 2 to 3 minutes?
I'm talking about cycling.
In zone 6, it's a 20 to 30 second effort, high power, high speed, high torque, high everything, but you're not gonna last long. And this is where you're basically using ATP within the cell for a very quick turnover with the fast twitch fibers. So here's what I do. I commute to work. I ride my BMX bike. And why do I ride my BMX bike? Because I love it. It's so much fun to ride. It makes me happy. And all of the rides that I do when I commute are literally hardly even zone 1. I don't even break a sweat. I'm just noodling as I'm pedaling. I'm probably riding as fast as a fast runner could run. So in the morning, I ride to work, it's about 2 miles. And then at lunchtime, I ride home, that's another 2 miles. After lunch, I ride back to work, another 2 miles. And then I ride home at night. So I ride about 8 miles a day on my BMX bike, Monday through Friday. So I'm doing about 40 miles a week in a low zone 1. The only time I do not do this is if it's raining or if it's above about 75 degrees. Nobody likes a sweaty chiropractor. So here's what I do on Tuesdays. I do an endurance ride. I'll do zone 2. I just go out and have a good time. It's a little bit faster than Smell the Roses, but I'm getting what I feel a good workout, but I'm not totally toast after the workout. Very often these rides are about 2 hours, maybe 33 miles total. Now on Thursdays, I like to ride my cyclocross bike, and there's a couple reasons why. The first is the tires are bigger, the bike is like 3 pounds heavier than my Roubaix, and so when I ride my bike on Thursday, I notice that when I get on my bike on Saturday, my road bike, because it's 3 pounds lighter, it feels faster. I know that many people say that fat tires are just as fast, or if not faster, than skinny tires, and that the weight of the bike does not matter. It's all about being aerodynamic, yada, yada, yada. I'll tell you what, I go from my cyclocross bike to my road bike, and I just feel faster, and it's all about the feeling. On Friday, I love to ride my BMX bike to work because it's just fun, it makes me happy. I try to practice my wheelies.
Yay, it's Saturday morning. This is my favorite day to ride. Normally, I ride with a group of people, but I woke up late. Today is the day where I'm gonna go farther, faster. I packed a ton of food, so if I'm in the mood, I can go a little farther. Today is the first day where I do kind of a hard ride. One thing though, man, I gotta start working on my tan lines. My legs are white. The first hill, that always sucks. Are they ever gonna fix this road in Somas? I'm tired. About 8 miles to home, and about now I start thinking about what I want to eat. I don't know if I want Chipotle or the Habit. The thing about Chipotle is you get there and you get all excited and they say, oh, do you want extra meat? You want guacamole? Yeah, what the hell? And then all of a sudden the burrito costs like $23. What I always find funny though is no matter how many extras you get, those employees can roll that burrito up. It's like packing a suitcase for a long trip. Great day. Today I'm gonna ride with a group of people. And so we'll see how much testosterone there is, because that'll essentially dictate how many zones I'm gonna be in today. Sometimes on Sundays it's a nice ride, other times it's basically an F fest. All right, let's get there. Last night we were watching Forrest Gump, great movie, and I was thinking, my daughter, she's Gen X or whatever. What was his generation called? I think it was Gen A?
Baby boomer.
Was it baby? Was it Gen A? You know, in medicine, if you have a home delivery, they're not calling it a delivery anymore.
What do they call it?
Well, if it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno. Not too bad so far. And there's only 3 testosterones in the room. Well, as you can see, I am by myself, and this is how a lot of group rides end for me. The rest of my ride is going to consist of this. I'm going to do 1 3-minute effort. That's a VO2 max, zone 5, as hard as I can for 3 minutes. Then I'll be in a zone 1 for about 10 minutes, and then I will do 2 all-out sprints, 20 seconds or so, hard as I humanly can. And then I will basically just zone 1 it all the way home. Today's mileage is 46.5 miles. Another good day. If every week could be like this, huh?
So now it's Sunday night. By the end of the weekend, I have basically destroyed my legs. I have done 2 hard workouts on the weekend, and what would be the best thing to do? Rest and recovery, which is what happens on Monday when I ride my BMX bike again. Before I do another endurance ride on Tuesday, I will have done 6 recovery rides on my BMX bike by Tuesday morning. And then the whole process repeats pretty much every week.